I'm James Thornock, and my speech today is Man of Steel. My recollection is that steel, when pure, is one of the strongest metals and most reliable. It builds our cities, it allows us to herd cattle, brings food to our mouths, provides the structure for modern day living. Steel is a friend of mine, and he lives up to his name very well. Society, just like individuals, needs unwavering integrity in building materials, but also in people. Steel, my friend, is probably the most integritous person I know. He stood up for me, provided the support and stability that I needed. When we were working out, I remember he was a constant. It was a hot summer day in southern Texas. I was bench pressing some ridiculously small weight, and he would constantly shout. He would constantly shout encouragement toward me, over and over and again, as I would push the bell up and down and up and down, and especially when I didn't think I could. He was consistent in what he knew, and he showed what he knew was greater than what I thought was even possible. Steel cannot falter in its principles. If the certain fibers of the metal decided at an instant that they would be weak, we would have some serious problems. The whole infrastructure of our cities would fall to the ground. Steel never faltered in his principles or his beliefs. He was as sure as a structure of a skyscraper under scrutiny. Like good steel, he was also pure. Whenever he had a goal, it was to improve himself. Whenever he went and did homework, it was for his future family. Whenever he went to church, it wasn't for his ego, but it was to worship the Lord. As I found online, science.jrank.org, I did some research, and I found that the way to determine the purity of steel was to examine its particles, what it's made up of, on a very small scale. The finer and more organized and consistent the particles, the stronger and higher quality and value of the steel. I had a wonderful opportunity of growing up with steel in high school, and as I did so, I was able to scrutinize and see the motives and things, why he did exactly what he did throughout these years. And he never failed once. His desire was constant, and he didn't change or falter. And surely, steel such as this is integral to society, and this stability is vital for us to have as individuals. And that is why steel, or the Man of Steel, is my hero. Are there any questions you have about this person, or anything you'd like to say or ask?
Do you have any special events or occurrences in your past that have happened that just molded this characteristic for him?
I think it was just the consistency over the years. So it was several experiences. I was worked out with him several times. We'd go on adventures in Boy Scouts, and there's a plethora of times where he could have derided someone or made a snide joke or said something behind someone's back, and he never did in any one of those instances. So it wasn't a specific instance, but many of just him being the same guy. So. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming, and it's a pleasure having you. In the audience, we have these 5 wonderful people